Malaria is a terrible infection that gets into the bloodstream and is transferred from human to human, mainly by mosquitoes. A mosquito that is not contaminated with this disease can bite a human who is, and then bite another human who is not, then they get infected. The parasites travel to your liver and then begin to reproduce there. After that, the parasites leave and go to the bloodstream where it infects the red blood cells by reproducing, thus releasing parasites into the body. There are 4 different types of Plasmodium which infects humans. Falciparum is the most common worldwide. The parasites has an incubation of about 5 to 12 days. Finding a treatment or cure for this is hard to do due to its resistant to nature. Not only is malaria contagious by mosquitoes, but sometimes blood transfusions and organ transplants. IV drug users are also on the list due to the sharing needles. Children who are newborns can get this disease by their mothers not even knowing that they are infected. Most people with malaria aren't sure that they have it until later on. This disease has belated symptoms up to 8 days. When people get these symptoms, they usually get headache, nausea, aching, and weakness, which are just like the flu. In addition, they usually get high fevers, which happen every few days. Since there is no real cure for this disease, people just have to treat the symptoms, not the actual disease. If you're going out of the country to a country that has a risk for malaria, your doctor can give you drugs that you start taking a week before you leave, weekly while you're there, and for 4 weeks after you return. Since there's no real cure right now, you can always sleep with a mosquito net, bug repellent, clothing that covers all your body, or all 3. This disease is controlled in the U.S. right now, but earlier on it was not. Many men got this when they traveled to Vietnam during the war, when they are in hot conditions and in the jungle. Worldwide, this disease is killing 1 to 3 million people each year. With all the deaths, 90% are in Africa. In 2003, there were reported 1,278 cases in America. In 1967, we were to the point to maybe finding a vaccine to cure and prevent this. At that time, our technology and knowledge of this disease was not great as it is now. If you put a lot of effort and time into this, with what we already know, we could really accomplish something, but what we need is funding. I need you, the World Health Organization, to help with this. We need about $3.8 million for all the trial and error vaccines and experiments. We need funding to find a cure or vaccination for malaria because, as we know, mosquitoes like to be standing in. We need funding to find a cure or a vaccination for malaria because, as we know, mosquitoes like to be in standing water, and that is where they produce. And if a natural disaster happens, such as a hurricane, there would be an outbreak. This recently happened a few years ago when Hurricane Katrina hit. There were so many puddles and standing water, mosquitoes multiplied quickly. Due to the fact of the hurricane, most people fled from that area, but there were still families around that became infected. As we know, these scenarios are likely and we need to become prepared for the possibility of another disaster. We will then be able to control it and there will be no epidemic.